Ladies and gentlemen, a man who needs no introduction, Ron Shaich.
Thank you. Wow. It's great. It's just absolutely great to be out here. You know, I have been waiting those 2 days in the back to get this chance to speak to you. You'll never guess why. I really have a lot to say today. So sit back, relax, we're going to talk a little bit. Let me begin by asking you a question. Have you ever felt there's a disconnect between your work life and your home life? When it seemed that the people at home didn't understand the pressures you experience every day at work, and the folks at work didn't appreciate the demands, the expectations you faced at home? Frankly, that's a struggle for all of us. But that changed for me this past summer. I put this little video together to give you a chance to appreciate what I mean. Let's roll it. Nancy and I have a problem.
Michael working at Panera, he's here all the time. All the time. I never see him anymore. Ready to go?
Yeah, definitely.
Your apron on?
And we can't get Michael to leave Panera.
He has his hat on, he grabs an apron and his name tag, and he is ready to go.
Hi, welcome to Panera Bread. This is Michael. How may I help you?
My 10-year-old son wants to go to Panera, and I'm the one who wants to go play Little League.
Making a Frontega panini.
Woo!
As he grows, he's starting to learn the business. I think he's comfortable at it. He can work anything from the register right to the line.
And I'll tell you, he's one of the best dishwashers we ever had.
One of the days he worked, we broke the record for our lunch business, but I'm not sure exactly how many times Ron went through the drive-thru that day.
Ron is the doting dad who likes to stay around and watch his son.
Ron and Nancy and the rest of the family is just sitting down while Michael's ringing and working hard.
Michael loves when I'm in the cafe. I know it.
Oh, he doesn't really want him around, just wants him to either hide in the corner or leave.
Hey guys, I need this table for customers who are paying.
Certainly, a little more Michael and a little less Ron would certainly be pleasurable.
Hey, Glenn, come here. Could I speak to your friend?
Ron definitely gets bored. He starts out watching Michael and then just gets distracted. He starts chasing all the assistant managers around, starts chasing myself around.
Can you give me some sense of what, why last Tuesday fell off?
He starts to want to talk about daily trends and bakery opportunity.
Hello, Hank, Scotty, Johnny, Ron here. I know it's Saturday night, you're out on your boat, you want to go watch your son play baseball, you're up at your camp, you and I got to talk. We guys got to talk about this, all right? I've had a couple lattes, I'm a bit wired, but I want to talk to you about this new niche, okay? No, we don't pay him. Are you kidding me? I would be so inappropriate for my son to receive any remuneration while he's working at Panera.
We take care of him. We pay him very well.
All right, Michael, thanks for doing such a great job this week.
You know, one of the things I most love about Michael working is it gives me a chance to talk to customers. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Let me get the manager over here. Is the manager here? Greg, come here. We need more coffee here. Sorry if I'm bothering you. I thought maybe Michael would have fun, work an hour or two, be a lot of fun for everybody. But this thing is completely out of hand.
5 minutes.
Let's go.
Maybe just 10.
I know we have plans tonight. Nancy, I am sorry, okay? There's nothing, I don't know what to do with this kid.
I think the problem becomes when it's 2, 3, 4, 6 hours later and Michael doesn't want to go home yet.
It's the 3rd hour, the 4th hour, the 5th hour. I'm getting bored. I want to get out of here.
Dad, it's time to go.
Folks, you think we were acting? No. Anybody who knows me understands I can really get like that. And Michael, he wasn't acting. My 10-year-old son really works at Panera 4 days a week. He did it all summer. Michael really cleans the tables. He really works as a barista. He runs a register, and he does the prep work. But it wasn't until this video that I learned that he also operates the panini grill and scores the bread as well. Greg, you're in trouble. And here's something else. I don't know about how many of you know it, but Michael entered 5th grade this September. You know what his favorite subject remains? Panera. In fact, I'd like to share with you an email he sent to Greg Godfrey, our joint venture partner in Boston, just a few weeks ago. Let me read it to you. Dear Greg, I rode my bike by our Boston University cafe a few minutes ago. I went in and saw people sitting there without any food or drink using the Wi-Fi. Can you, Greg, fix this problem? True story. Also, you might want to know that the displays were low. Your fan, Michael. It really is in the genes, isn't it? You know, the cafes in Boston have been so kind to my family. I just want to take a minute to express to our Boston cafes, both Greg and our Boston joint venture group, and to Boston Bread, a very special thank you for opening your cafes to my family. We Sheiks are truly, truly appreciative. So, thank you. You know, while my discussions of Michael and Panera may seem lighthearted, they touch me deeply. Because when Michael works in our cafes, I get the opportunity to see Michael connect with the pride I feel in Panera and the pride I feel in what we do. And for Michael, it's the opportunity to contribute and share in something I love. Indeed, it's the integration of the two most important things in my life, my family and my work. You know, all this has given me a whole new appreciation for how special Panera really is. So often people in the restaurant business say, I do this so my kids don't have to. You know what Michael working at Panera says to me? It says that we've not only created a place we're proud to work at, but we've actually created a place we're proud to have our children work at. From day one, our dream has been to create a business that was special. Yes, we wanted to make a living, but that wasn't all. We dreamed of something more. We dreamed of a bakery cafe that would succeed by engaging and exciting guests for its own sake. We dreamed of an experience in which the food, the people, and the environment would be special. We dreamed of a place we could be proud of. And we dreamed of a business populated with people we respected and we liked. In sum, when we created Panera, we dreamed of making a difference in the world. We wanted a place that nurtured our guests and nurtured us as well. The truth is, we've done that and we've done more. And I experience it. I experience it each time I walk into one of our bakery cafes. I see the difference we make. I see it in the eyes of our children when they enjoy a cinnamon crunch bagel, and that's my daughter Emma. I hear it. I hear the difference we make. I hear it in the warm conversations of the weekly book club and the knitting club and the prayer group. I taste the difference we make. I taste it when I enjoy our new Cobb salad. I smell the difference we make. I smell it when the bread and baked goods arrive fresh from the oven. And I feel the difference we make. I feel it when I visit our cafes and when I talk to you, the people of Panera. You know, when I started out, it was absurd to think a restaurant company could make a difference, a real difference in the world. As I look back on almost 30 years in this business, I realize something. We have done just that. We make a difference. We make a difference in the lives of 6 million guests every week. 6 million people. That is 1 out of every 50 Americans. It's an amazing number. But you know what is even more amazing to me? You, the 50,000 people who work on behalf of Mother Bread each day. We do make a difference in each other's lives. You know, it's funny. Some of the people I most want to spend time with are members of the Panera family. Because like many of you, Panera has been a place where I've built some of the most important relationships in my life. I look forward to coming to work to learn, to laugh, and even fight with people I love. You know, I'm so convinced Panera is a special place that I asked our team to enter Fortune magazine's 100 best companies to work for competition. We won't know if we made this list until February. But here is what I do know. The process of preparing the application required many people and thousands of hours of time. And it ultimately led to the creation of an extraordinary 100-page book. That book gives voice to the many ways we have touched one another and gives voice to what a really, really special place Panera is. Preparing that book was a powerful experience for those who worked on it. And it's been an equally powerful experience for those who've read it. I'll tell you something. When I read that book, the stories in it brought tears to my eyes. In fact, I was so moved by that book, I had copies produced for each of you. It's being delivered to your rooms as we speak. Folks, let me share with you something. Do yourself a favor. Take the time to read the book. Take the time to share it with your cafes and your families back home. But have some tissues ready when you do, because I am confident that you'll be as moved by that book as I was. You know, when I read the 100 Best Companies to Work For book, I truly got that we have created the Panera of our dreams. So I ask you, have we created the Panera of our dreams by chance? Is it simply good fortune that we have arrived at this place? Absolutely not. Believe me, the odds were never in our favor. We are in a terrible industry, folks. This industry is mature, it's fragmented, and it's tough to succeed unless you offer something better. The world did not need another restaurant when Panera showed up in your town. So the challenge we faced back then was, how do you build a restaurant that the world did need? A restaurant that customers wanted to visit. I don't just believe we've done it, I know it. And our performance proves it. Today, the restaurant industry is in extraordinary pain. Our competitors have been generating very negative comp store sales. In Q2, Jamba Juice was down 13.7%. Cozy was down 12.2%. Starbucks was down 8%. And Caribou, they were down 3.3%. Folks, Panera was up 4% in period 8. Yes, up 4%. Panera is rocking, and I'm going to tell you something that continues to amaze me. Panera's comps were up almost 6% last week. 6%. We're in the middle of a recession. Do I hear the sound of fireworks going pop, 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 pop? Is that what it is? I think so. You know, the only thing I can say is that we're going to need those comps to pay for the concert last night, so I say thank you. Guys, they're unbelievable. Folks, let me tell you something. We are taking market share from our competitors. Our competitive position is improving. We are winning, and we are winning big. You know, as I visited our bakery cafes in the middle of the economic meltdown this summer, I experienced the strength of our business. And I've come to believe we owe that strength to Concept Essence. Folks, Concept Essence represents a powerful vision for how to compete. Real food, rooted in artisan bread, served by people with self-respect in environments that engage. Customers get that we're a higher quality experience. Customers get that our bread makes everything special. And customers get that it's worth walking past our competitors to reach Panera. So I'll ask you again, is our success simply by chance? Absolutely not. We have succeeded because bread matters. And we have succeeded because Concept Essence works. Folks, our success over nearly 3 decades has required more than just a belief in Concept Essence. We had to make smart bets along the way to bring Concept Essence to life. Doing so required wisdom. Doing so required commitment. See, each of us had to put ourselves on the line as we made those bets. And we did that without the certainty of a payout. Isn't that always the way it works? I'll tell you something. I don't gamble. In fact, I avoid casinos. Truth be told, I'm no John McGuire. I don't like to make a bet when the odds are against me. Frankly, I prefer the odds of the house. Sure, the house may lose on occasion, but the odds are tilted in favor of the house, and time is on their side. In the end, the house is making the smart bet. Take a second and think about the smart bets that were made during the journey we now call Panera. In the beginning, all we had was a dream for a better way to compete. Concept essence. You know, essentially concept essence was just a bet. We had no idea it would work. But we observed the needs of our customers. We understood an emerging customer niche. We made a smart bet. You see, concept essence had never been done before. And there's always risk in doing something new. Always. Believe me, folks, it's easier to follow than to lead. Here's another bet we made. How about the purchase of St. Louis Bread Company back in 1993? That was a bet that many people questioned at the time. But it was a smart bet because experiences taught us how to help the bread company grow into the business that Ken dreamed of. That's what made it a smart bet. And how about the bet we made on bagels in 1996? People said we were crazy, that adding bagels would hurt our sourdough roll sales. But we knew our bread authority would drive our bagel sales. So that's what made bagels a smart bet. What about the bets our early franchisees made? Randy Simon, Ken Rosenthal, the Majors, the Stees, the Wolfs, the Cavellis, the Sinclairs. What were they thinking? They bet on a nameless concept, and we told them it would need a total facelift. I'm sure a lot of people said that buying a Panera franchise was crazier than betting on one of Archie Carroll's horses down at Churchill Downs. You know, these guys are many things, but they aren't dumb. Their smart bet on Panera turned out to be the trifecta. We can't talk about bets without discussing Gathering Place and Wi-Fi. Today, our Gathering Place business represents almost 1/3 of our sales. It's a key element in our success. At the beginning, we didn't know where Wi-Fi or Gathering Place would take us, but we knew how the market would evolve. We studied how people adopt technology. Based on that knowledge, we made a smart bet on Wi-Fi and Gathering Place, and it worked. Wi-Fi was one of the smartest bets this company ever made. And what about some of the smart bets we made more recently? Remember back to the beginning of 2008? Many industry critics said our best days were over. Boy, were they wrong. Average store profit was up more than 25% in 2008. 2008 turned out to be one of the best years in the history of our company. How did we do it? First, we looked hard at where we made our money. Then we provided opportunities for guests to leave more money behind. We built a category management team. We made a bet on a new approach to pricing. And we focused on profit per transaction. And guess what? That smart bet worked. This year, we bet on breakfast sandwiches. We bet on an upgraded coffee program. We bet on discovery days. And we bet on media too. These smart bets drove breakfast transactions positive 5% in 2009. How about our lunch success this year? Our strength at lunch can be tied directly to our new salad program. And let me tell you something. This would not have happened without your willingness to bet with us on quality lettuce. Without that smart bet, we wouldn't be serving the best salads in America today. Not all of the smart bets we made were business bets. Many were personal bets. Those bets may have been the toughest bets of all. I know that each of you made a big bet when you joined the company. General managers, joint venture partners, field teams. You could have stayed at Applebee's or Burger King. You could have stayed at Yum or McDonald's. You didn't need the insecurity of joining a renegade like Panera, but you did it anyway. You made a smart bet on Panera, and you won. Support team. You left the largest and most successful companies in America to join an upstart called Panera. Your spouses must have been happy about that choice, huh? But you did it anyway. You made a smart bet on Panera, and you won. Vendors. You believed in the potential of a small but growing brand called Panera. Critics told you that the sales we would bring to your business would not be worth what we required of you, but you did it anyway. You made a smart bet on Panera, and you won. Franchisees, each of you made a huge bet on Panera. Yeah, you did. You have put a collective $1 billion of capital and credit on the line to build the Panera system. And in each case, you made that bet when success was just a question mark. But you did it anyway. You made a smart bet on Panera, and I'm glad to say you won as well. Simply put, folks, Panera would not be the success it is today without the commitments you made. You believed in the dream of what this business could do for our guests, and you believed in the dream of what this business could do for you. Your commitment brought the dream to life. And to me, that commitment is the foundation of every smart bet. Before we move on, I need to say something. You know, there's never enough time to say what I feel so deeply. So I want to say it on this stage right now. Thank you. Thank you for making Panera the place of our dreams. Thank you for what you've given to Panera. Thank you for what you've given to our customers. And thank you for what you've given to each other. Thank you for sharing your energy with Mother Bread. Thank you for sharing your hearts with Mother Bread. And thank you for sharing your lives with Mother Bread. And please, please, carry a special thank you home to your families. They are the people who provide the space that lets us do what we do for Mother Bread. I need to say something more. I want to thank each of you for what you've given me personally. Thank you for allowing me to be me. Thank you for giving me a place where I could grow through laughter and learning and pain too. Thank you for standing strong with me through headwinds and fog, Atkins, Crispani, Shamrock, and more. And most importantly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for believing in me. Wow. Thank you. Wow. Thank you. It was very kind. You know, we really do have a lot to be thankful for. We've enjoyed a great deal of success together. But as you know, yesterday's success is yesterday's news. Everyone wants to know what will happen tomorrow. So let me ask you, how do we create a future as bright as our past? I don't know what the future will bring, but I do know this. There's a lot at stake. So many people in this room and so many people we care about have so much to lose if Panera stumbles now. Think about the $1.7 billion in investor capital betting on us to prosper. Think about the $1 billion in franchise investment counting on us to make this work. Think about the 6 million guests each week who rely on us to add value to their lives. And think about the 50,000 team members and the hundreds of vendors who depend on us for their livelihood. So often, I lay awake at night thinking about all the people counting on us to create a future even brighter than the past. As I contemplate our responsibilities to each other, my mind races to the possibility of failure, to the possibility of shattering our shared dream. Folks, we can lose Panera yet. How do we continue to build the Panera of our dreams? These are the questions we all came to Nashville to consider. What's my answer? I couldn't come up here without one. 3 commitments. First, a commitment to competing based on a vision we call concept essence. Second, a commitment to smart bets that drive competitive advantage. And third, a commitment to utilizing our experience to get the work done right. These are the commitments that have created Panera's past success. These are the commitments that will create Panera's future success. Today, I'm asking you to commit to them again. Let's consider them one at a time. Let's talk concept essence. For Panera, concept essence is what keeps us on course. It's our compass and our most powerful guide for the journey. It tells us who we are and what we must be. You know, I've long been fascinated with sailboat racing. It's a demanding sport whose lessons are real-life applicable. When you race sailboats, you win only if you're able to stay ahead of all the other boats. And to stay ahead, you can't just wander the race course. To keep up, you must avoid wandering. For us, the way we avoid wandering is through concept essence. Bread is our passion, soul, and expertise. We are a club that allows our customers to feel good about themselves. We are an everyday oasis for our guests. We invite our customers into the world of what bread can do as part of their lifestyle. 4 beacons, as crucial to us as True North is to the Voyager. Without them, we are lost. That's why I ask each of you to commit again to concept essence. And yet, even with concept essence as our beacon, we have to know how to sail, how to navigate our boat. When you sail, you're at the mercy of the sea. Odds are you won't be blown straight to the finish line. So the sailor needs to keep his bearings and make informed choices to reach his destination. Indeed, the sailor has to know when to tack, when to jibe, when to tighten the sheet, and when to let out the sail. These are the smart bets the sailor must make to win the race. At Panera, we have a history of making smart bets. Thus, the second commitment I'm asking each of you to make is to support a new generation of smart bets that drive competitive advantage. To do anything else means we're dead in the water. And it means giving competitors the chance to catch up. As Scott said yesterday, safe never is. So what are the smart bets we're asking you to make? Over the past few days, you've heard about the Circle of Warmth and the initiatives we're executing to drive lust, trust, relationships, ease of use, and ops excellence. At the end of the day, all of these initiatives can be reduced to a single, overarching smart bet, driving competitive advantage. Folks, let me tell you something. We use the phrase competitive advantage a lot around Panera, and we should. Competitive advantage is everything in business. It's the key to every successful company, and it's been the key to Panera's success as well. At the most basic level, competitive advantage is the difference between you and the concept down the street in the eyes of the consumer. Competitive advantage is created when your business is the best alternative for a certain product or experience. You know, folks, competitive advantage is always evolving. One day, you're the best alternative on the block. The next day, people are walking past your door. Why? Because a new establishment opened? Because another concept got better? Or because the reigning favorite simply got careless? In any case, competitive advantage is relative. It's how you compare to the other alternatives that matters. Scott and Mark laid out a vision for what we're doing with food, equipment, and sourcing to ensure we remain ahead of our competitors. These initiatives are fundamental to our smart bet of driving competitive advantage. Folks, we have the vision, we have the skill, and we have the will to dominate the businesses we are in. We can continue to own our gathering place niche. We can continue to own our niche in soups. We can own the eat-in salad niche. We can own our niche in breakfast. And we can own our niche in hot sandwiches. Indeed, if we are to continue to win, we must be the best competitive alternative in each of the businesses in which we compete. End of story. Marketing is another smart bet we must make to drive competitive advantage. Marketing leverages our size and is something our smaller knockoff competitors cannot match. Folks, we spend less dollars on marketing than any of the top 20 restaurant companies in America. That's not a problem unless we're missing an opportunity. So does it make sense to ask ourselves, is there something those other 19 companies know that we don't? They must. You know, marketing offers the potential to fundamentally change our relationship with the marketplace. Our strategy is clear. We will focus on the F's. We will drive quality, unaided awareness. We will create deeper relationships. And we will inform, remind, and relate. So will the strategy work? As with all smart bets, You never really know in advance. No amount of testing can give us certainty about marketing's long-term impact. Marketing plays out over multiple years. But let me tell you what we do know from our testing, our data, and our study of other companies. At the very least, marketing essentially pays for itself. It's a break-even proposition. But at the very best, marketing could be a game changer. It could generate much deeper relationships with so many potential customers. And it could lead to more profit and significantly more units. So here's my bottom line on marketing. We must approach marketing with discipline, but with a bias to action. The time to move forward with marketing is now. Here's another initiative to drive our competitive advantage: growth. We must be wise enough to take advantage of opportunities when they present themselves. Building new units when others cannot is such an opportunity. Warren Buffett often says, never waste an economic downturn. That's when the real fortunes are made. Buffett is right. This recession represents an extraordinary opportunity to make smart bets on new cafes. Rents are down. Construction costs are down. Competition for real estate is down. Yet our new store volumes are up. This is the time to build. Folks, this is the most attractive opportunity to build high ROI cafes I've seen in the last 10 years. And we will act on that knowledge. The company will increase its growth more than 50% in 2010. But let me tell you something. I worry that the real estate downturn will end before we can all take advantage of it. So please, take my advice. Seize this opportunity. Make a smart bet on growth now. Bread heritage and retail merchandising are also part of our new generation of smart bets to drive competitive advantage. They're about strengthening Panera's bread credibility. As you heard on Tuesday, without the credibility of our bread, Panera is just another sandwich shop. I realize that the new merchandising approaches we discussed may be foreign to some operators. That makes sense. They're hard, they require new skills, and they bring new burdens to your cafe. But do you know why we're doing this? It's not about the incremental loaves you can sell. It's about creating a difference. It's about defending the concept and our bread heritage. It's about competitive advantage. Catering represents yet another opportunity to drive competitive advantage. Many of us know that catering has been under huge pressure in 2009. Makes sense. CFOs across the country have been cutting budgets, and catering is the easiest cut of all. The result? Catering sales at Panera were down 5% in Q1. So here's a view you might find surprising. I think our weakness in catering was a good thing. Why do I say that? Well, when demand for catering was strong and money was loose, everyone with a catering program, everyone looked like a genius, Panera included. However, when the demand for catering faltered, most companies, they suffered, and most have been yet to recover. Did you know that Cozy reported catering sales down 30% in Q2? And we've heard that others are down double digits as well. But at Panera, the story took a different turn. Back in Q1, we began the hard work of determining what really mattered to building catering sales. In company stores, we shifted the responsibility. Day-to-day supervision is back in the hands of our area directors and our JV partners. Folks, now that you have the authority, use it. You own it. We focused our regional catering sales managers on bringing new, high-volume customers to Panera. The RCSMs must be held accountable for the growth in their book of business. We're also insisting our VPCs must focus on retaining our customers. To do so, we must execute catering properly, and we must execute customer follow-up 100%. As well, the catering support teams must provide the metrics, the database, and the new sales tools that they promised us. And I'm counting on them to do just that. Folks, Our smart bet on executing catering has already paid off. In Q3, catering sales have been up more than 5%. It's part of the reason our comps have been so strong in recent weeks. Folks, catering offers the potential to be one of Panera's smartest bets. But it's up to us to execute catering with discipline. And again, I'm counting on you to do just that. Let me tell you something. We're building for the long term. These smart bets are central to our long-term financial health. Creating value tomorrow is completely dependent on the choices, on the bets we make now. In fact, our long-term financial health will depend on whether these bets are truly smart and whether we execute these bets well. So there you have it. Another Shaich speech is done. The only thing left to do is to return to the cafes and wait for the smart bets to pay off. Am I right? Is that it? Guys, you're clapping at the wrong point. Life at Panera doesn't work like that. It's never that easy. Just knowing what we need to do isn't enough. We also need to know how to get the work done, and done right. This brings me to my third and final commitment that I ask of you. I'm asking you to commit to utilizing our experience to do our work well. In order to help us think about that commitment, I'd like to share a story with you. You know, Ted Kennedy was an acquaintance of mine back home in Boston. You may have liked his politics, or maybe you didn't. But either way, there's no disputing the fact that he learned much in his 77 years. Ted Kennedy passed away in August from brain cancer. Just 1 year ago, he walked out of the hospital with that terrible diagnosis. Ted had only been home 1 week when people began asking, would Ted race the Fagawi Regatta again? Now, you may not know what the regatta is. It's an annual sailboat race between Cape Cod and Nantucket. It's no race for amateurs. It's a 19-mile course in open waters with 20-knot winds and strong waves. Ted had participated in this race every year since he was a boy. Ted's well-known love of the sea and his intense competitive spirit brought him to this race one last time. Ted figured he knew how to captain his boat. He knew what worked and he knew what didn't. He had experience, he had knowledge, gained over decades at sea. He knew they gave him an edge, despite the cancer growing in his brain. So just days after walking out of the hospital, Ted Kennedy not only sailed in the regatta, he finished in second place. Ted Kennedy's story speaks to the power of determination. It is, in the end, a story about holding fast to your dreams, about using experience gained over a lifetime to live those dreams. It is a model for the people of Panera. We've learned much from our experiences over the last 3 decades. Experience teaches us that if we're to stay the best competitive alternative in our neighborhoods, we must prepare today to win the battles of tomorrow. Experience tells us we must understand that success or failure is in the details. Folks, there is no small stuff. Once we stop sweating the small stuff, we're finished. To that end, we must be willing to master the difficult, because good enough never is. Experience shows us that if we stick with a mission, if we stay open to iteration and more iteration, we will ultimately succeed. Just think, even Babe Ruth once had to learn how to hit a baseball. Iteration works the same way. The key to success is often simply the willingness to stick with something until we master it. Experience teaches us that if we want smart bets to pay off, we must adhere to a simple principle. Stay rigid in vision, but flexible in execution. Experience prepares us. It prepares us for the reality that there is pain and difficulty in every creative process, in every personal journey. If we want success, there is no room for whining and no room for complaining. Simply put, we must choose to do what it takes to be successful, or accept the possibility of failure. Experience shows us that although we may be a large company, we succeed best when we think and manage like a small company. People must come first. Policy must come second. Anything other than that would make us the suits that we all mock. Experience informs us that we must be Panera people, not functional experts who all too often miss the big picture. No one outside Panera has ever referred to the success of the ops team or the success of the catering team or the success of any individual franchisee. Instead, they talk about the success or failure of the Panera team. And if we are to continue to win, experience teaches us, we must tell the truth. We must protect the good people who make the Panera difference come alive. Indeed, as John said, they must be taken care of better here than anywhere else. But let me tell you something. No jerks means no jerks. No dancing around it. Those who don't share the dream must go, no matter how good their intentions. A narrow focus on self-interest, short-term in nature, destroys companies. At Panera, there is no room for entitlement. We have no place for people whose first question is, what's in it for me? Simply put, the good of the many is always more important than the good of the few. Experience warns us we must never fall into the big company trap of spending more energy fighting each other than fighting our competitors. Experience tells us we must earn the respect we want. We must make a deposit before we make a withdrawal. And that's true whether we're dealing with each other or our guests. Experience shows us something else. Real wealth is created when we build long-term value over multiple years, not when we hit a short-term plan or pop the stock. Real wealth is generated by building a reputation with guests and a relationship in the community. Real wealth is built by growing transactions year after year after year. Real wealth is what Charlie Roth and the Bastions built by doing things right. And real wealth is what I want for each of you and for Panera. You know, we're nearing the end of our family reunion. And as I look at you, I realize once again why we name it as we do. This isn't an annual meeting. It isn't a convention. It really is a reunion. A time to reconnect. A time to share. A time for family. As with all of life's big events, our reunion gives us the chance to take stock. We see what's changed, for better or for worse. We're a little older, a little wiser. Some have gained weight, and some have lost hair. There are marriages, babies, and passings too. There are new members to bring into the fold. We come from California and Florida, Boston and St. Louis. We are young and old, bakers and bankers, black, white, Latino and Asian, gay and straight, Hindu, Christian, and Jew. Through all our differences, we share a deeper bond. We are bound by this place. We are family. We are Panera. As I look back, what do I remember? I remember a skinny kid from the cookie jar, an earnest young man out on the street with a plate of cookies and a dream. I remember long days and even longer nights, year after year after year. I remember setbacks, delays, and triumphs too. The road has been long, the road has been tough, and I've learned more lessons than I can count. But I did not take the journey alone. I traveled this road with you, my family. Families are complex. From the outside, you can't understand them. From the inside, you can't explain the depth of the connection. But I want to give voice to what I see, to what I know, and to what I feel about this family. So to those on the outside who doubted our dream, you have your answer. To the cynics who said that business was nothing more than the bottom line, that we could not change the world, you have your answer. To the fearful who said we should do what others have done and nothing more, you have your answer. To the naysayers who said our dream could not be done, it would never be done, you have your answer. And to my family, the Panera family, who stood beside me, we have our answer. Our dream is tangible. Our dream is real. It shines like a beacon in the night. It guides the sailor home. I would not be here today as the captain of this ship without you. The leadership team, the franchise community, our operators, all of you. You are my companions. You are my family. Panera's dream belongs to you. We are Panera. Our journey has been rich, yet the journey never ends. The road ahead will be long. Our climb will be steep. More challenges await. There will be setbacks, false starts, and mistakes. But we will travel on because the dream will never die. What began 30 years ago in my tiny storefront has grown to this. Look around you. See it. Feel it. Know that this is real. I call you now to a new spirit of commitment, a new age of belief. Let's show the doubters, the spoilers, the ones who are afraid, what we can do. Standing together, shoulder to shoulder, we are the keepers of the dream. We are Panera. The dream is here. The dream is real. This is our chance. This is our moment. Each of us can soar. Each of us can succeed in every city and every town. Not because it will be easy, but because it will be hard. Because things of value take time. Things of value must be earned. There's work to be done. The time is now, and we will do it together. We are Panera. Stand with me, please. Stand up, please, everybody, on your feet. Thank you. Lights up. Great. We must build our dream. We are Panera. Wow. We must work our dream. We are Panera. We must fight for our dream. We must keep our dream. We must live our dream. We are Panera. We must own our dream. We must share our dream. We must protect our dream. You must dare to dream. It's real. It's here. It's yours. Sail on.
I'm working on a dream. I'm working on a dream. Yeah, the cards I dealt is a rough hand, darling. I've been in my back and I'm working on a dream. We're working on a dream. We're working on a dream. And sometimes it feels so far away. We're working on a dream. I know some will come true someday. Yeah, rain falling down and I swing my hammer. My hands are rough from working on this dream. Come on, people. We're working on a dream. Yeah, we're working on a dream. Though trouble can feel like it's here to stay. Don't worry, we're working on a dream. And our love will chase troubles away. Go, people, yeah! Away.
Michael.